Okay, let's go again. So 5 minutes auto pairing. And I am Tiger Petrosian, a bit like Tigran Petrosian, Iron Tiger, Petrosian's nickname. Let's try this line which Aronian played recently in a Tesla tilt against Nakamura. I'm going to try and simulate it anyway. I don't think it's working that well. I was going to simulate a bishop g5 system. Might not work that well. I don't think in this line it's particularly amazing. Well, I'm provoking some weaknesses. I wanted to play c5 like Aronian, just for a laugh at some point. But it's not happening here. It's a very different position. Maybe I should just take, hope for the best. Can I not just take on e5 here? I'm in trouble. Take. If I take on e5, is that silly? Let's just play maybe just queen c2. I think I'm getting outplayed on d4. I'm gonna have a horrible d4 defect. I don't think this was good against the knight a6 system, so I'm going to be tortured on d4 here with knight c5 to e6 at some point. Doesn't look great. I need to do something. Maybe play for c5 would be an idea. Mind you, knight c7 to e6 already looks painful. Okay, well I can take on e5 when that happens. So b4 c5. No, I don't particularly like this. Maybe c5 and bishop c4 though. Then get that knight to d4. It was going to happen. Alright. Maybe queen a2. He's going to strangle me with his knights. I'm going to build up behind it and then play for f4. Maybe knight d5. I can just about play this, I think, because it's protected by the bishop. I'm going to double behind it. And then knight d5 and then d6. That will knock out this. That will give me interesting pressure on f7 if the rooks were like that. Knight d5, take d6. I think that's the way to go, because I need to have some dynamic play here will justify this pressure. I'll play this. Interesting. If you played there, I can just take on f4. 2 pieces for the so d6. I'm stifling his rooks. At the very least. Where would his queen go? Maybe I need to play something like f4 to try and undermine the d4 knight. In fact, Botvinnik, reminiscent of Botvinnik playing for something like f4 here. There's like this d4 shouldn't be the end of the world if it can be undermined. In particular, so knight g5, f4, knight e4 takes. No, I think I'll be in trouble there. Wow, counter sack. Okay, so I might as well take that. Am I going to take it? I don't think there's much choice. Got to get my king out and then maybe d6 here for bishop f7. Or to get him in the pin. Queen d6, there's rook d4. Rook d6, there's bishop f7. But he could just attack with rook c8. There's bishop d5. Right, so if I try and get my king out of here without getting mated, I'd like to be able to play f4, bishop f2, or f3, and bishop f2. I just want to play bishop f2 and get rid of that knight. Mind you, you can just put pressure on that, yeah, like that. So he's got the option to take now on b3. He's 2 pawns up. No, taking on b3 is not a big deal. I'll take on d6. He's going to let me have this light square bishop. I have got a clock advantage. Yeah, I want to play bishop f2. The light square bishop is something anyway. It might be something, but this huge knight on d4, I've really been positionally done over with this knight d4 standard maneuver. Opposite coloured bishops though, if I do take now. What about f4, trying to put some pressure on d4 like that. He's got e4, hang on. Hasn't he just got e4? Oh, that's a pain as well. I think maybe time to take and then take on d4 and hope for the best. Maybe takes on e5, take on a4, bishop d4. Alright, maybe I can do this. So rook d4 or bishop d4. Going into a pin, so I think I'm going to do this. I'll be protecting e5 anyway. I don't want that pin particularly. Yeah, he's going to have this protected pawn on the outside. This game's been horrible throughout, to be honest. I thought I was going to get some dynamic game, but he counter-sacked just in time to ruin all the fun for me earlier. Just being 2 pawns up now. What can I do? I can play rook d5 here for a moment, and bishop g1 going into a horrible pin. Bishop f8. I'm controlling c5, so maybe this is worth it. Just to hold on to e5 for a moment, because I'm controlling the c5 square. h3 and then rook a5. Right, if I can get to play king here. Right, so can I hold on here? This is not a check on this diagonal, so it's got a clock disadvantage. Try and get something against this king. Okay, try and get some sort of mating net if possible. He's only got 17 seconds. I don't think this has been a brilliant 5-minute chess performance. I mean, he might be some sort of perfectionist. I think e6 is worth checking out. For e7 or e takes, rook d8 doesn't quite work. So where do I move this bishop? Where? Bishop e3 for a moment. Okay, I'll put a thing back there.
Check.
He's not giving me a chance for rook a7 particularly. e6 here, takes, e takes, still not working. Anything else? Bishop f2. Then he takes. Let's see, does he repeat with rook e1? E6 here for an off. Just to throw a spanner in the works. No, it doesn't do anything but that one on time. He just used so much time, so I confused them, but it's a horrible game. This shows what happens when not looking at the opponent's moves in the opening. This bishop g5 is just not very good, I think, here. He's just getting this very nice maneuver very easily to dominate d4. The way I'm playing it, it was terrible. Not a great game. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.